All right, how's it going, everybody? This is Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist, coming to you from the art studio. I just got here. I'm ready. Bam, bam, bam. This is hammer time, baby. This is hammer time. This is when we get to hammer some hammer time, man. Look at this. Yeah. All right. Café. I got my café ready. Hope you guys are doing awesome. Excelente mundo. It's perfect. It is perfect. Big old tape. All right, guys. So, what is today? Today is what? It's my breakfast. Everything bagel. That's what I do in the morning. With some some cream cheese. Yeah, some cream cheese. All right, I'll wait for that in a little bit because then I'll start chewing and then I can't talk. Okay, beautiful people of the Instagram. So this is hammer time. What is hammer time? Hammer time is to help you get your mindset, your state right from the beginning. As soon as you wake up, as soon as you start, something needs to click. You know, instead of watching news and shit like that, it's better. It'll serve you better. It'll serve me better. It serves everyone better to just start, you know, thinking about what you want. Thinking about what you want, thinking about where you're going, what your deal is when it comes to being an artist, you know, whatever your thing is. I find it to be so important to just be connected, constantly be connected to the right state of mind, to your goals, to your vision. Where are you going? Now, I'm not talking about to-do lists, which, by the way, is extremely important. Don't neglect your to-do list. Those of you who don't have a to-do list, you are making a huge mistake. Nothing gets done without to-do list. However, what I am talking about is something beyond the to-do list, which is your goals, setting your goals, your intentions, as the great Oprah Winfrey says, your intentions. What is the intention? So what I like to do is that I like to set up my intention for, how's it going, D-Toms? Good to see you. My intention for the long term, okay? It's a long-term intention. I'm playing the long term. I'm playing the long game. So what is my intention? Well, my intention is to be a great artist. My intention is to be the world's greatest living artist. My intention is to have a great business, an art business. Yes, I said it. Many artists don't even like to say that. They're like, no, man, I'm fine as long as I can paint. Bullshit. No, like I want success. I've been playing the small game too long. I don't just want to, as long as I can paint. I don't want the bare minimum. Okay, I can get that with very little effort. I want the awesome life. You know, I want everything that comes with it. I want the connections. I want the relationships, the friendships. I want to be friends with Jeff Koons. I don't know, why not? I want to be friends with Elon Musk. Zuckerberg is in trouble right now, but I'd still be his friend. You know, I want the wealth that comes with it. The wealth, the opportunity, the growth that comes with it. I've been playing that game of too little, just enough to get by, and that kind of stuff. It doesn't help. It doesn't do anybody any good. It's not sufficient, right? If it's like you're trying to make a fire, and you're like, well, let's just put this couple little twigs in there. You know, let's see what happens. Let's put a little bit of I don't know. Let's put some papers there and see it burn. It'll fade like that. You need to put some logs in there. You need to put a lot of wood, right? It needs to be sufficient. It needs to be massive for the fire to keep burning. So Anyways, I went on my soapbox there, but I just wanted to remind you guys, look, keep your intention at all time in front of you. At all times. Keep your intention at all times. It should never leave. See, I believe that the number one, I'm always talking about this number one thing, okay? The number one thing that prevents people from moving forward is that we forget. Yes, I said it, we forget. Some people like to say that it's because you're driven or you're not driven or this or that. Sure, why not? It's all of those things. But I believe that we forget. Shit, I mean, try to think about what you had for breakfast yesterday. Human beings just forget. You know, we forget right away. You make a promise and you're like, yeah, and you forget. If it's not in front of you, if you're not looking at it consistently, constantly, all the time, you will forget about it. That's simple. You know, if whatever you want is not in front of you, if you're not reminding yourself constantly of what you want, where you're going, you will forget. It's like going on a trip and you don't know what streets to take. You don't know what roads, what highways or anything. And you're not looking at a map. What do you do when you're driving somewhere that you're not familiar? I'm talking about the pre-cell phone era, when we used to carry maps, right? Those of you, I used to work in sales and I used to carry a map throughout a city, right? I used to work in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm in Tucson now, and I used to carry a map because I didn't know Phoenix, right? I didn't know Phoenix, so I was like, oh, okay, well, carry a map. What do you do when you're driving somewhere you don't know? You're constantly looking at it. You're driving. You're reminding yourself, right? You're reminding yourself where you're going because you don't know the place, and because if you don't look at it, you will get lost. Or yeah, I mean, it's not like you're gonna get lost forever, but you'll lose the track, and then you have to like drive around, find it again, look for it. Oh, okay, here's where I was going. Okay, well, I have to take this loop, or I have to do this, or whatever, right? So, what makes us think that we don't do this kind of shit in our personal lives? What makes us think that we don't just start driving, just hit gas, and not need to be looking at our map? We need to constantly be looking at our map, and this is why I'm always talking about this. I learned this from a mentor. I didn't figure this thing out myself. I was the type of person that I was like, dude, I'm gonna write my goals, where I'm going, once. Okay, I'm gonna write my goals or whatever I'm going. I'm just gonna write them once, and most people do it once a year. I thought if I did it, you know, I don't know, once in a lifetime, not once a year, once in a lifetime, even worse, right? If I just did it once, if I was really decided, you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna write my goals. This is what I want. This is where I'm going. You know, I'm gonna be a great artist. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna have an awesome art studio. I'm gonna have 50 employees and blah, 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 and this and that. And, you know, all this stuff, right, that I want. I used to think that if I just wrote it once, it was just going to be this thing that I was just going to start walking towards it. It's a very romantic, very noble notion. Unfortunately, nothing happens that way, guys. Nothing happens that way. In order for something to happen, you have to constantly look at it. And what I learned from a mentor was, dude, most people write it once a year. It's like I don't know. It's like if you took one shower a year to clean yourself for the rest of the year. It's like you have to write them twice a day. I was like, what? Yeah, twice a day. One in the morning, one at night. You know, you write your goals in the morning as soon as you wake up, and then before you go to sleep, you write your goals again. It might take you a couple minutes. I don't know. But what's a couple minutes? You know, you write your goals once a year on what? January 1st or, I don't know, December, whatever, January 1st. You write your goals once a year, and I write my goals 700 times a year. You know? because I write them twice a day. What do you think the likelihood of me staying on track is versus you if you write them once a year? The likelihood is tremendous of staying on track, right? Because I'm constantly looking at them. I'm constantly reminding myself of where I'm going. Twice a day. I wake up, I write my goals down. I go to sleep, I write my goals down. I also learn to write my goals down when I'm having a hard day, right? One of those emotional or hard days when I'm like, oh man, or the taxman is like, it's like hitting me harder. I'm like, oh man, I gotta write my goals down. You know, I didn't make enough. I need to make more so that I can be okay, right? And blah blah. So this is something that I learned. Now this is about the goals. Okay, it's not. Oh, okay. Now you need an action plan. I'm talking for artists. Now you don't have to be an artist to relate to this, but since I'm an artist and I know a lot of artists, and from what I've heard from them, they have a hard time staying connected. And I think that they have a hard time staying connected because, again, they're not looking at it. How can you stay connected? It's like being married or having a partnership, whatever. You're in the same place, but you're not connected. You're not connected. It's like, yeah, well, that's my partner, right? Yeah, good. But you don't go on dates. You don't talk. You don't do fun stuff that the other person likes, just what you like, and you don't foster it. You don't water the plant. You're not connected to it. You have to stay connected. And so many people are like, well, how can you if you're busy, time and this and that? So a bunch of bullshit. We all have more than enough time. It's just that we decide to use it in other places. I'd rather play, video games, as Lana Del Rey says. I'd rather play video games than go and have a good time with my wife, you know? I personally don't do it, but I'm just saying. I don't like video games. But there's a lot of people that they'd rather do that, or I'd rather be looking at a magazine, or I'd rather be, I don't know, looking at a YouTube video, or binge watching Netflix. It's like bullshit. It's not going to help you. It's not going to propel you. It's not going to take you. And I know we all know this, but it's not a bad thing to remind ourselves about this. Now, you have your goals, right? Your long term. This is where I want to be in 10 years, or this is what I want, or this is my ultimate goal. One of my ultimate goals is that I want to meet Elon Musk and do art. I don't know, an art museum in Mars, you know, some shit like that, whatever, right? I gotta keep him big and ridiculous. I gotta keep it, right? Because anything under that, it's like, well, it was less, but what is less, right? What, that I get to, I don't know, be in the National Gallery or have my own place at the Guggenheim. I don't know what is less than having artwork with Elon Musk in Mars. So I keep him big. This is not something that I came up with. I learned this for mentors, because usually what we do is that we keep him small because we're playing the humble card. We're trying to be humble. Oh man, I'm going to be humble. I'm fine with this. I don't need a lot. Every time I hear people saying that, like, I already know, like, you're kidding yourself. I don't need a lot. To me, it's like, I give up. Like, you know, maybe you don't need a lot for you. I get it. I totally understand that. That I get, right? When people say I don't need a lot, I get it. I'm like that here in my studio. I'm like that in my home, in my household. I'm always telling my wife, I don't need those shoes. She's always trying to buy me shoes and stuff like that. I don't need it. I'm fine. Like fashion's not my thing. You know, my wife is into all of that. I don't need it. I'm cool. But just because I don't need it doesn't mean that she doesn't need it, or she doesn't love it, or my son doesn't like cool stuff just because I don't. See, it's a very selfish thing when we say, well, I don't need it. Well, you may not need it, right? But what about your mom? What about your dad? What about your friends? What about your community? What about, I don't know, your responsibilities, you know? What about the rest of the world? Maybe the rest of the world needs it. I don't know. Shit. People are always talking about like how they want to help the world and save the world. And when it's time to like roll your sleeves and say, you know what, I'm going to do something cool. uh, I'm going to help the world, we start thinking about little. We start thinking little, like, I don't need a lot of money. Shit, how do you think this world works? You know, with good intentions? Of course not. It works with resources. You know, be it relationships, be it money, be it whatever it is. It's resources. This world works with resources. We are in an economic world that exchanges resources. That's what we do. That's why wars happen, sadly. That's why economies go up and down, because it's an exchange of resources. That's all it is. It's an exchange of resources. Gold, I don't know, food, whatever, right? Anywhere from cultivating crops or whatever to farming animals and on and on. It's all resources. It's all resources. You know, and a lot of stuff is changing, and we're in some areas we're becoming more aware, in others it looks like we're going backwards, sadly. But it's all resources. So when I hear artists go like, I don't need a lot, or that's not me, as long as I can paint, I'm fine. I know, because I used to be there. It's like, dude, don't be so selfish. You know, what if other people need it? What if you do so great that you start donating, I don't know, 10 milli a year to your favorite foundation? I don't know, maybe you're a vegan and you're thinking that people should stop eating, you know, meat, and maybe your community needs help, you know, in resources, and you're making 10 milli a year and you can donate one of them to your foundation. I don't know. Why not? Why not take it bigger, right? Maybe you make 100 milli a year and you can donate 10 milli to your foundation. I don't know. Why not? So anyways, the reason I'm talking about this is don't think small. Don't keep it small, because it's a selfish thing. I believe many of us think that it's a humble thing, it's an honorable thing. It's me, myself, my artwork, and my studio. It's very cool. But and I'm not saying that bigger is for everybody. Nor I'm saying that bigger is just better, just because for the sake of bigger. That's not what I'm talking about. What I am saying is, when you are creating momentum and you go wider, opportunities, right? The opportunities become wider as well. So if your intention is good, right? If your intention is good and you have a good cause, the more opportunities you have, well, the better it's going to be, right? You're going to be able to impact your cause more. You're going to be able to I don't know, feed more children, or this or that, or provide more art supplies for kids in need, or, you know, programs, whatever, right? You're gonna be able to expand. This is one of my dreams. I would love to provide art supplies and you know, for different needs. I know there's a lot of, I used to suffer from a lot of anxiety when I was younger, and I know that art helped me a lot. So I was like, dude, I want to hit it big. I want to be able to help with that. Now, it doesn't mean I can't do it right now, of course, and I do it, and I do participate, and I go and I show up, and I do little classes for kids, or you know, just try to help in any way possible. But if I'm doing it bigger, there is more impact. There's certainly more impact, so it's proportionate, right? So, anyways, that's the goals. Another thing is your to-do list, your daily plan, your strategy. What's happening today? What is happening today? What is happening today that's going to move you there? So one of the things that I'm always talking to artists about, look, don't get stuck on one thing. For example, don't be like, I'm going to paint today and that's all I'm going to do. That is the kiss of death. Any single activity is the kiss of death. The kiss of death. Man. My pronunciation just came out there weird. So don't leave it to one activity. Jam pack as many activities. I know this is hard, and the reason why it's hard is because it's hard to the mind to understand it. It's not hard to your spirit, to your heart. It's not hard. It's not hard to your boom 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 to your heart. It's hard to the mind. The mind can't conceive. Oh my God, I have to do 10 things. This is one of the best videos I found out there online. It's called Gulp Life. I think the guy talking is Ty Lopez, if I'm not mistaken. Whether you like the guy or not, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I take the message. It's called Gulp Life. And he talks about how Picasso used to gulp life, right? Rather than take life in little sips, little drinks, he just chugged it, right? It was a gulp. It comes from that idea of suck the marrow out of life. And he says, look, if you have all these things to do in a month, right? Do them in one day. And most people are like, no, I can't do it. Of course you can. You can touch it. You can impact it. You can impact it. You can touch it. It's so much better to try to put so much in one day. Even if you only do 5 minutes of this, 10 minutes of that. If you put it in there, as opposed to, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to spend the whole day doing only one task. That's the kiss of death. If you want to stagnate and paralyze and do nothing in your art career, focus all of your efforts on a single one thing in one day and see what happens. Nothing. I've done it. I've seen other artists do it. It's paralysis. All of a sudden you find yourself working 8 hours in stretching a fucking canvas. I'm sorry. Drop the F-bomb. In stretching a canvas. You know, you're 8 hours in there. You're, 5 hours priming canvases. It's stupid. It's not, it doesn't move you. It doesn't move you, right? It'd be a much better approach would be, you know what? This is my to-do list. I got 5 hours. I'm going to break it down. There's going to be 30 minutes of Facebook, right? For advertisement, marketing, whatever. There's going to be, maybe not even 30 minutes, maybe just 20 minutes or 15 minutes, right? Break it and go hard at it. There's going to be 15 minutes of a video like this. Boom. There's going to be 1 hour of painting, right? Or, I don't know. Don't make it too long because then you start moving around and you start we're like children. Most people are like children. We can't stay too long in something, especially we can't stay too long hard. We can stay too long checking your phone, moving around, getting up, taking some coffee. We can stay forever at a task. But most of us don't know how to stay hard, meaning concentrated, focused on something for too long. So make the pockets small, but make them effective, right? 1 hour painting, boom. I'm not going to do anything, not check the phone, not put music on. I don't care about anything right now. It's just 1 hour. I'm going to focus on creating artwork. And then you move on and you're like, okay, now 1 hour is going to go about visiting galleries. How many galleries can I visit? Make it a game. Make it a game. This is your action plan. Make it a game. I'm going to visit 5 galleries today. Seems impossible? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you only get to visit 1 or 2. But your goal has to be higher so that you don't slack. It's better to not meet a higher goal than to put a lower goal, right? Because every time the goal is lower, you never meet it. You will always slack. You will always go after whatever the bar is. So I would say instead of visiting 1 gallery, I would be like, I'm going to visit 5 galleries or 10 galleries. Maybe it's ridiculous. I don't know. Maybe you're like, it's ridiculous. I'm not going to visit 10 galleries. Make it a game. Play with it. Watch yourself. Find yourself visiting 3 or 4 galleries when you make it 10. And that's when shit starts happening. That's when stuff starts, rolling. Things start happening for you. All of a sudden, someone says, yeah, come back next week. Show me your artwork. Awesome. And then you keep doing that. You don't just do it once a week because nothing's, it's going to be very small impact. And you're going to feel burned out and you're like, no, this doesn't work. It needs to be a lot of things happening. Now I'm dropping some real cool stuff here. This is stuff that I learned. And I have no intention in showing or sharing this with anybody. This is how I run my business. This is how I do it. I've been able to create a full-time income for myself, and I brought my wife along to work with me. She was working somewhere else, and she was doing sales, and she came and worked with me now. We're working together. And we're moving right now. We're expanding our business. I'm hiring people. I'm getting a bigger art studio, a warehouse. And the only reason I'm sharing this is because the stuff started happening when I started moving hard, fast. What I'm talking to you guys about. Hard, fast, and one thing after another. It can't be like, I'm going to go do that and see what happens. While that's cooking, go turn something else on. And it doesn't matter if it feels like both things are happening at the same time. Good. That's a good problem to have. You want to have different good problems. And, I mean, it's not for everybody. I know it's not. I know, I understand that, but if it's for you, consider it. Watch your life change. You know, watch your life change. If you only have 4 hours a day to work on your art career or whatever you call it, if you only have 4 hours a day, don't spend them all just creating artwork. Don't spend them all just doing research. Don't spend them all just on online marketing or on Etsy or, you know, I don't know, Facebook, eBay, whatever. Don't spend them all there. Divvy it up. Break it down and then go hard. Break it down and go hard. Be like 15 minutes for this and then go at it as if it's your last 15 minutes of your life. And then 15 minutes on that. Go at it as if it's, again, the last 15 minutes of your life. One thing's going to happen, you're going to sleep like a baby. You're going to be so tired, but the good kind of tired, not the mental tired. The good kind of tired. The tired that when you go, the bed hugs you, you wake up in the morning, and you're excited and enthusiastic and ready to punch it again. It's a different type of tired. It's not the apathetic tired. It's not like the, oh man, I don't know what to do. That's a horrible tired, because that tired, even if you can't even sleep, that tired is anxiety tired. It's your soul. It's not happy. Your soul is not. It's not on point with you, because you know you should be doing things and you're not doing them. But at least if you're trying and you're doing things, even if you're not meaning them, the soul knows. And it's like, where is it in the Bible? Somewhere, I don't know, be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. Be bold. Like, go at it hard. Anyways, I get excited talking about this kind of stuff. Guys, I hope that you guys enjoy this little segment. Take care. I have to get back to work. I will see you guys later. I'm going to be doing a, today at noon, Arizona. Awesome. Today at noon, Arizona time, I'm going to be doing a painting demo, okay? So come by, check it out. I'm going to be showing you guys some, I don't know if I'm going to do acrylic today. We'll see. We'll see. Either acrylic, oil, or watercolor, something. I'm a multimedia artist, so we'll see what I'll do today. So thanks so much, guys. Take care. Peace.